Hey guys, it's that time again. Time for me to let go of so many fragrances that I am no longer loving. I believe I mentioned that I am going to be going through heavily wearing fragrances that I already have in my huge perfume collection. And I ask myself when I wear them, do I still love this perfume today just as much as I did when I first got them? And some of them I do, but some of them, it's time for them to leave my life, to leave my collection, so I can move on with something different. And maybe someone else can enjoy these fragrances because they're beautiful. They're just not for me anymore. So let's go ahead and get started because I know I have well over 20 fragrances here that I need to get shown. And I'm going to list these on my Mercari. And if I can remember, I'll leave a link to my Mercari. I'm also going to be listing some of these on Facebook Marketplace. Or if any of you are interested in purchasing some of these, you can also contact me in my email address that's below in the description box. So I'm going to start with Gemini Parfum by Riffs. I sprayed this yesterday and I couldn't for the life of me remember why I was going to get rid of this. This is gorgeous. When you first spray this, first of all, it is a dupe for God of Fire by Stephen Humbert Lucas. The bottle is absolutely stunning. This is beautiful to me in the beginning. It is full of mango, ginger, lemon, citruses. There's musk and woody notes. So when you first spray it, it's gorgeous. And I want that part of the fragrance to stay for the life of it, but it doesn't. For me, as well as the original God of Fire, when the dry down starts to happen, the musk is a musk that starts to smell like body odor musky. I don't like that. And I don't want to start layering this because I already know that it's not a musk that I enjoy. But if you're looking for a perfect dupe for God of Fire, this is it. I love it. But the dry down does not love my skin. So for that reason, I am going to be letting go of Gemini Parfum by Riffs. Next, I'm going to be letting go of Badi Oud Sublime, it says it right here, by Latafa. And this is their version of Kayali's Eden Juicy Apple. And I know a lot of people love this. And maybe I will love it if I let it sit and mature for the next 6 months. But I'm not going to do that. One, because I already have the original and I think it smells beautiful. The original is lighter. It's just beautiful, fresh country apples. It's so feminine, so pretty, so fruity. Now this one, I've had this for a couple months. And there is fresh apples in here, but there is I believe a moss note in here that's a little too dominant for me. And the moss is giving off a bitter ink, like I've dipped my apples in black ink. So you get that bitter, inky smell, and the warmth from my skin just amplifies it. So although it's lovely, it's just not working for me. So bye-bye. Next, I have Fatima Velvet Love by Zamaya. This one, I wanted it to work so much. I fell in love with the presentation, the beautiful purple color, and these are little soap roses that you can put in your bathtub. I wore this and I've tried to wear it a few times, but there is a lavender note in here. Isn't this gorgeous? Gosh, I'm so disappointed that I don't like this at all. This reminds me of a lavender essential oil that I would try to wear before bed to help with the calming effect and the sleep get me in the mood for sleep. I didn't like that oil, and I don't like this. And I cannot get that comparison out of my head enough to enjoy the other notes here, because all I can smell is that lavender essential oil. So it will be leaving my collection. Velvet Love, Zamaya. Next up, I am getting rid of Scandal A Paris. I have 3 of these Scandals. I'm keeping 2, the Scandal by Night, and so Scandal for now, because I do still love them. But this one, when I got to this one and I wore it again, the honey note in here is a little bit too warm, and it's just not sitting right with my nose anymore. It's still a beautiful fragrance. If you love that fruity, sweet, honeyed fruit, it's a warm honey, and I just don't like it anymore. So it's got to go. Next up, I have BDK's Creme de Queer. I bought this because I had a sample of it, and I loved the sample. But by the time I actually bought the full bottle, something changed. The love that I thought I had for it, I just don't love it like I thought I did. And this is a fruity, peppery leather type fragrance, and it is nice. So it's kind of a love-hate. Sometimes I love it, or maybe not a strong love. I like it, but the majority of the time, I don't. And there's some woods in here, like pencil shavings, and I'm okay with that. But it just doesn't smell good on me like I thought it did from the sample. So it's beautiful, but it's just not for me, so I'm letting it go. However, I want to revisit this later down the road to see if that first initial spark returns, and I will try another sample at a later date. But right now, it's got to go. Next, I'm letting go of Snow by Julianas, Norsk. I have Le Ali by Norsk, and I love that one. When I first got this, it was cold, and I loved it then. This is a fresh, and I mean very fresh fragrance that opens your nostrils. But now that I'm wearing it again, it's green. There's lavender in here. There's citruses. There's some floral notes. But it's a very fresh fragrance, and it's fresh to the point where something in here, I don't know what it is. It's almost pulling like mentholy fresh, or if you've ever had a really powerful piece of peppermint gum that just lights your whole nose and your mouth on fire, it's that fresh. So I don't like this anymore. Well, I don't like it now. I want to let it go. I had sprayed this on my robe when I was trying it out. Next morning, I picked up my robe, and I just didn't like it. It's just too fresh for me, and I don't like anything that reminds me of menthol. So it's got to go. Next, I'm letting go of Ombre by Narciso Rodriguez. Beautiful fragrance. I have no complaints about how this smells. Absolutely gorgeous. But I just spoke about and showed Lattafa's Shad. That smells pretty much just like this, but it lasts so much longer. So I prefer Shad better. I prefer it over this. So if you've been looking for this, it is nice, but it just doesn't last that long on me. So it's got to go. Next, I have Julianas Perfume 13 of Hearts, and this is their version of Le Labo's Another 13. I've heard really good things about that fragrance. But this one, and I'm a huge fan of Julianas Perfume. They actually make one of my favorite dupes for Greenwich Village. I believe you guys have heard me talk about that. But this one, I think maybe it smells better on paper than it does on my skin. This is another one that to me, the musk in here smells like BO musk, a body odor. I don't want to smell like that. And that's the way it pulls and smells to my nose. I'm sorry, Julianas perfume, but this is a no. And what I want to know, if there is someone that has this and has compared it to the original, do they smell the same? If so, I want to stay far away from another 13. I just don't like this one at all. It's a no. Next, I'm letting go of generic perfumes version of Chanel's Coramandel. I don't like this. I think it definitely smells better on paper when it's had time to air out and the dry down occurs, but still, there's something in here. I don't know what it is. I'm not looking up the notes. I just know that my nose doesn't like it. It's bitter to the point where it actually starts to hurt my nose a little bit. So no, I think I'm gonna let someone else enjoy this because I've heard a lot of good things about Coramandel. It just doesn't agree with me. Next, I'm going to be letting go of BELlARI Home. I believe this may be discontinued. This is a clean, mature, white, floral type of fragrance. And I believe there might be a note of violet in here, and some violets don't agree with me. And I'm not in love with it. It's nothing wrong with it. It's just not for me. Next, I'm letting go of Inus Energy of the Sea. I have the spray perfume, I have the lotion, and I also have the body oil. And this is my second bottle of this. When I first got this, I loved it. It is fresh, aquatic, citrusy, maybe a little mature. There's nothing wrong with it. I'm falling out of love with it. And my husband actually loved the lotion. He would wear the lotion all the time, but we're both not feeling it anymore. We have so many other things that we are loving. So Inus is leaving. Next up, I am letting go of Laird's Signature. This one, it's beautiful. It's soft, it's floral, it's very safe, office friendly. However, it reminds me of Flor Narcotic, but cut in half. And I already have the original Flor Narcotic, and I don't even think this is supposed to be a dupe of it. That's what it reminds me of. And I have several variations or dupes of that Flor Narcotic. So for that reason, I'm going to let it go, and maybe someone else will fall in love with Signature. Next up, I have Floral Jasmine by Dossier. This is their version of Jasmine Rogue by Tom Ford. This one has always been a love-hate for me. One minute I love it. Well, maybe not even love. It's never been a strong love. But sometimes I would like it enough to wear it. And I thought I smelled pretty, but I don't love it enough to keep it. So for that reason, Jasmine Rogue, Tom Ford dupe, it's leaving. Bye-bye. Atelier Lune Feline from Dapper. That's their version. It is smoky, and I can't do smoky right now. It's got to go. It's not for me. I don't like smoky right now. Decorte. This is a little cute little discovery set from Decorte. I believe these might be sold at Macy's or somewhere. I don't remember where I got it. These are beautiful. These are beautiful for the lady that loves her soft, feminine fragrances that are very office safe. I just haven't found one in there that I love enough to buy a full bottle of. And as you can see, I've tried all of them. They're still very full. Beautiful, but I just haven't found that love. So I'm going to let someone else see if they can find the love out of the collection. This is a small, I believe it's a 10 ml bottle of Femme Delicious from Genre Perfumes. Oh my gosh, this is sweet to the 10th level. This smells like I have just stuck my nose in a bag of brown sugar sweet. That's what this smells like. And it is edible. It's definitely brown sugar edible, but I don't like it. It's just too sickly sweet to me. It's got to go. Room 1015, Yesterday. This one is, it's simply too masculine for me to wear. I like some masculine scents, but I don't like this one. And I don't like it enough to give to my husband. So Yesterday's leaving. Next, I'm letting go of Alexandria Fragrances, Fame 15. And this is their version of Andy Warhol by Bond Number 9. I have never smelled the original, and I would love to one day. It might be discontinued. I don't know it. But this one, it's not bad at all. But there is something in the dry down that is a little bit too warm for me. It does contain oud. So maybe, and it's not a strong oud. It's not one of those ouds that you smell right away. But there is something warm in the dry down of this that I don't love enough to keep. And I don't love it enough to smell it on my husband either. So it can go to someone else that would love to smell Andy Warhol. Next, I have Mady from Dua. It is an original creation from them. This, I've never liked it from the beginning. It was never a love. It was very different, definitely unique. And it's another, and I've had this sitting, trying to see if it would mature and blossom into something that turned into a love, but it never did. And this is another one of those fragrances that has a note in it that opens up your nose like menthol. I don't enjoy that. And I let my daughter smell it when I had it on my arm. I wore it to work one day just to see if I could tolerate it or if it would dissipate. She can smell it too. She says that mouthwash, like it smells like a mouthwash, that minty, fresh, mentholy. It's just a no for me. It's pulling it to menthol for me. It's got to go. Do you have this? What do you think of Mady? It's not working for me. Next, I'm letting go of Palm Fire from Dua. I have several Duas here that I'm going to be letting go. This is a hybrid of Killian's Apple Brandy and replicas By the Fireplace. I never liked By the Fireplace. And some of these Duas came in a bundle of fragrances that I have purchased. It wasn't something that I would normally pick, but I never liked By the Fireplace. I don't like that smokiness. I don't want to smell like a fireplace. I love that smell in a home or through the air in the winter, but I don't want to walk around smelling like a fireplace. And that's just my opinion. But however, I will say that the apple note blended in with that smokiness is amazing for someone else. It's just not for me. Next, I have The Night from Dua, and it's their version of Gold Night by Killian. I've never smelled that one. Another one that came in a bundle I bought. There is a warm honeyed patchouli that I do not enjoy. It has to go. Next, I have Passionately Dolce from Dua. Beautiful chocolate covered strawberry picture on the front, and that's exactly what this is. This is a very strong, very sweet, edible strawberry that's dipped in a very strong chocolate. And I like chocolate, but I don't, it's almost like a dark chocolate smell, and I don't enjoy it. It's just a little bit too gourmand for me. Next, I have Illuminate. This is fantastic. This is Dua's version of Starlight from Xerjoff. I have the original and it does smell like the original and I love the original, but I already have a full bottle of it and I'm not going through it as fast as I thought I would. So I think that I'm going to pass it along to someone else that would love to see what Starlight smells like. It is a beautiful, smooth, warm, lightly spicy cardamom and cinnamon. And I love it. I love it. But for those reasons, I'm going to pass it on. Illuminate. Next, I have a ton of samples from Noteworthy. I already found a couple of Noteworthy fragrances that I love, number 144, and I don't remember what the other one is yet. So those are my favorites. I'm going to be letting go of the rest of the samples. And then I have Altair by Parfums de Marly. This to me is a nice caramel, vanilla, and woods that many people find to be quite amazing. For me, I definitely feel it leans masculine, and I do not like the strong woods on my skin in the dry down, and it didn't take me long to figure that out. And I don't like this enough to give it to my husband because I don't want to smell the woods in it. And then finally, I believe this is the last one, I had to get a sample of Suspiro Vibrato because, you know, I hear wonderful things about it. I tried it and I quickly learned that, again, it's a nice citrus fragrance. Many love it for warmer weather. But there is an undeniable presence of a musk in here that turns into a body odor musk. Not my kind of musk. So unfortunately, it didn't work out for me. So I will see you in my next declutter because I have plenty more that I'm going to be letting go.